is the RF and Microwave Update Series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Gary Lerude. In this episode, we're going to continue our coverage of the August high-frequency components and PCBs issue. And as I said last episode, the cover story is by Dr. Paul Khanna of NI Components. And he takes a look at millimeter wave technology, how it's being commercialized for many applications, automotive radar sensors, Wi-Fi, 5G applications, and medical applications. So it's a really good comprehensive look at the technology. What do we have for some of the technical features?
Well, we have 4 articles, a couple technical features, a couple app notes. One of the technical features is interesting. It's doing microwave measurements without cables on materials.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and oftentimes in terms of characterizing materials, you have to cut out a sample, take it into the lab. It's a destructive test. What the authors describe from Compass Technology is an in situ measurement scheme where you combine a sensor with a vector analyzer or some other type of analyzer. You can do it basically real time as part of the manufacturing flow, so it has a lot of great advantages. We have an editorial review board approved article that's on wideband bandstop filters. This is interesting. It has a modified transmission line ring with an embedded capacitor. That's the basic structure. And they demonstrate a 1.2 gigahertz center frequency bandstop filter that has 20 dB rejection bandwidth over a 91% range, so pretty impressive. In the app notes, we have one from Analog Devices on phase lock loops. Obviously, we know about PLLs being used for synthesizers. The interesting part of this article is you can actually use the PLL to control the phase alignment in the synthesizer. So not only the frequency, but you can control the phase. That's important if you're synchronizing or having multiple signals where you want the phase between them to be controlled. The other article is from TI, and it relates to designing the sampling converter or the sampling clock in a super heterodyne receiver or analog to digital converter based on using the frequency spectrum like the phase noise as opposed to the traditional time domain measurement which uses things like jitter. So interesting lineup, some signal integrity, high-speed digital oriented papers as well as our traditional microwave stuff.
A good mix.
Yes.
And for product features, we had a digital phase noise generator from Noise XT. And I think this is one of the first generators where you can induce a discrete, calibrated amount of phase noise into your system. And as we've been talking about, phase noise is becoming more and more critical. So it's a good way to inject a known calibrated amount and be able to see the effect on your system. And we also have some high-efficiency power amplifiers from Skyworks. And those are, small cells are finally taking off for 4G densification, and they'll be critical in 5G, so it's a good timing for high-efficiency PAs. What did we have for tech briefs?
Well, talking about wireless infrastructure, Amplion has released their Gen 10 LDMOS process. They're trying to push frequency coverage as well as higher efficiency. So they've released 5 devices in this new process that basically cover from various cellular bands from 1800 megahertz up to 2700 megahertz. And then an interesting one from Tektronix, they've released an affordable, very compact vector network analyzer. This covers from like 100 kilohertz up to their 2 options, either 3 gigahertz or 6 gigahertz. Of course, this gets paired with the PC using the USB 2.0 interface. So you have the RF measurement components within the box, and then all the software processing is done in the PC. So a nice product entry in a new category from Tektronix.
Yeah, I think they're doing a lot more than oscilloscopes this day, which a lot of people don't know yet.
True.
And so this issue is also dedicated to EDI CON USA that takes place September 11th through the 13th in Boston. And so we have complete coverage of the 100 plus exhibitors, some new products, and we also cover a full conference program. And new this year is a European Radar Summit, and we have that organized by Alfonso Farino, formerly of Celex. He's bringing over 5 experts from Europe, and they'll be covering conformal antenna arrays, multi-static passive active radar, dual polarized phased array antennas, and digital signal processing for AESA radars, along with future trends. So that's a very good lineup of speakers. And also new this year is the High Speed Digital Symposium organized by Eric Bogatin. And they'll be covering simulation, modeling, and measurement of high-speed PCBs. So that's a really good addition. And we also have added a student scholarship program this year. So we'll be giving away 2 $500 student scholarships. It's free for students to attend in the area of Boston. We have a lot of colleges, so we hope to draw from the academic sector. And they just have to visit 3 of our 5 major sponsors, and they'll be entered into a drawing for one of those 2 scholarships.
Great. So on Monday, I think it's interesting. We have a full day of training, and I want to run through some of the training classes because those are quite interesting. A wide range of activities. So practical antenna design for wireless products. That's one. We have radar, phased array, metamaterials, and MIMO. That's an interesting combination. Power Integrity 101 for people that want to get a good introduction to power integrity. Transferring board design into PCB design, basically getting it right the first time. 5 steps to engineer transparent vias in high-speed circuit boards. That's important as the speeds increase. And then a practical board-level power integrity measurement and design principles associated with that. So a lot of good training on Monday, September 11th.
Yeah, I like our approach. We've changed it this year, that Monday is just for training. There's no conference and exhibition. And then Tuesday and Wednesday are full conference and exhibition days. So it's a good way to format it, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm also excited about 4 panels we're giving this year.
Right.
You're doing one. I love your title. Look, Ma, no steering wheel, right?
Right.
The state of the autonomous car.
Yeah.
And you have experts from both the component level and system level, right?
Right. We have AutoLiv, who will be represented, will give us a nice system perspective. And then we've got Analog Devices and some others who are going to participate.
And I'll be doing 2 panels, and one is on the Ferrari of amplifiers. How can we maneuver around the challenges facing high-performance GaN today?
That's a good title.
Well, we have snappy titles for this.
Right.
And we'll have experts from BAE, Raytheon, Qorvo, MACOM, and ADI. So we have all the good mix of aerospace and defense and the high-performance commercial people in that one. And I'll also be doing bandwidth or bust, commercializing 5G millimeter wave technology. And we have a good mix of test and measurement and component people there on how we can get it to market today and what's going on in fixed wireless access and some of the other applications. And finally, we have one run by the RF Energy Alliance. And they'll be looking at how we can overcome the challenges for commercializing industrial heating and also lighting applications that microwave technology is being applied for today.
Yeah, that market is moving quickly, so it'll be good to get an update on that.
Yeah, I think they might be going to market in a year or so.
Yeah. And then let's talk a little bit about the plenary session, which is Tuesday morning from 10:30 until 12. We have a good lineup of presentations for that. One I find particularly interesting, Scott McMorrow, who's the CTO of Samtec, has an interesting career-oriented presentation, Betting Your Job, Finding Your Voice, and Being a Change Agent in a Corporate World. That's a never-ending challenge, I think, for people.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested to hear about that. Thomas Cameron, whom we know well, the CTO of Analog Devices Communications segment, is going to be talking about 5G in 5 years. So I'm not quite sure what his prediction is for 5 years, but it'll be interesting to hear Tom talk about that. And then Fareed Akretch, who's with Rohde & Schwartz, is going to give us an inside look at the test and measurement industry. So that ought to be interesting as well. So 3 great speakers during our plenary session Tuesday morning. So we encourage folks to register if you haven't already. Come to EDI CON September 11th through 13th in Boston. The weather should be great. The presentations will be excellent, and you're sure to find it very informative and a good use of your time.
You can register at ediconusa.com.
So we want to thank you for watching this episode of Frequency Matters and hope you'll join us on the next one. Also, as we're starting our fall season, we are open for sponsorship, so if your company is interested in getting your message across on Frequency Matters, give us a call. Thanks for watching, and until next time.